Welcome to 3-Word Story. I'm James.
I'm Dylan.
And this is the podcast where we take 3 words from the app
What 3 words?
and improv the shit out of a story.
Today on 3-Word Story.
Nailed it.
What am I doing here, Dylan? You may think, you may ask. Well, with...
Sorry, let me ask. What are we doing there? Slap me on the ass and call me Dill Pickle. This is what I wanted to avoid, being Barbara in the story.
Is it prototype or not? Oh, there's fear that you've got. What came first, the mannequin or the Sanakin? Dill Pickle, how are you doing today?
Hi, James. I'm doing pickleish. Thank you.
Pickleish?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Piccalilli.
yeah,
Okay, so you're feeling pickleish today.
I lived
Dylan,
in Piccadilly Square.
do you?
To the Piccadilly?
Have you ever been to Piccadilly Square?
No.
It's Piccadilly
Piccadilly
Square.
Square.
Yeah. So I
All
played
right.
so much Monopoly in my life. You think I would know that? I don't come from London, so I wouldn't know it for that reason.
Okay. Understood.
But yeah, Piccadilly Square. I don't know how we got here, but hey ho, how are you, Dill Pickle, today? What we saying?
Yeah, not much. All good. Have been a pretty productive weekend, I guess.
Whoa,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Tell
I
me.
think so.
Where has the productions come from? Your productivity.
Productions got a bit of work done, trying to help out a few buyers of mine.
Mazel tov.
Hopefully getting to ending stages within the next week or so.
Ooh, real estate talk with 3-Word Story. And you know what that is, Dylan?
Nice job.
One more time.
Nice job.
I think we should have somebody screen these for this is a good one.
You're telling me you don't like...
Nice job.
To be honest, I'm surprised it came so early. I was kind of trying to play that out. But the fact you're talking about work and you did it on the weekend, it's impossible for me not to go.
Nice job.
Thank you.
job.
Oh, okay, shit, right. Calm down, mate. So, okay, so you've been doing some work. What else?
Been doing some work. We were supposed to go to, and a bit of play was supposed to be involved.
Ooh, was?
So yeah, we were supposed to head out to the range yesterday.
Yes.
Kind of sports city side, else club side, potentially having a beer or two afterwards. as it
Ooh, that
is
sounds
a hot day.
exciting. Okay, yeah. And then?
However, for various reasons, I Brandon, I love you. but I guess plans changed in the meantime, and I showed up.
We should. Why aren't we recording this, the visuals? Because we could have seen that Dylan didn't think that it was a
Nice job.
from Brandon at all. There was pure salt on that face. Okay, so they planned.
Yeah, or
What
at least,
happened?
no, it was kind of just we planned the previous day, and I said, okay, that's fine. I'll see you tomorrow at 3, and that's why I left it, because I figured
Naturally,
okay,
that's
I'll
how
see you
plans work.
tomorrow.
Right?
Okay,
That's how plans work, and they turn into a.
Nice job.
I love how you just tee yourself up just to fucking fit in with the soundboard every time. It's like,
Wait,
what
what do you
do
mean?
we goat? Yeah, I think that one we can probably let go of.
What,
Nice.
nice.
Or
No.
Okay, well, I'm very surprised by that. Okay, right. So yeah. Now I've rinsed the soundboard for the whole of the episode. Please tell me what happened and why.
Oh, no. So basically, showed up. He was like, oh, shit, man, sorry, I'm still at home, but if we can do this later. And at that particular point, he was like, no, because it just seemed a tad bit too hot. And I was like, yeah, I just walked 2 Ks to get you. I fucking know it's pretty fucking hot.
That's where the saltiness came from.
I think more so from the sweat, and also the shirt that I decided to wear was probably the worst. So it was a linen shirt, and it looks like I was swimming. Because
but I thought
was so
linen
quick.
was meant to be good for hot weather. I see lots of
No,
rich people wearing linen.
I can understand that, but I don't know why. But this particular shirt, maybe I sweated so much that I no material would have worked in that.
So you looked in the mirror and you were
yeah.
like, Okay, well,
either way.
did you try and call it? But so before you left, you just assumed all plans were swimming, which I get that. You're not trying to reach out.
I did try and reach out a couple of times, but it was I didn't realize. But I called from my work number, and as far as I know, he doesn't have that number.
So he was like, "Why is this real estate loser trying to call me over again?" And he was just like, "Fuck this guy! I don't want property today. Screw this guy." Well, that's fair enough. Yeah. That makes sense. If I was him on a Saturday, well, it's Sunday today, so yeah, Saturday, I probably would have done the same thing. Actually, in the news, Dylan, I don't know if you read, there was a guy. It was somewhere.
No, I don't read.
Oh, that's true. You can't read. I can't read. I don't know why you're staring at your laptop. It's just pictures of farm animals just popping up, and that's why you smile so much. And you look at it and go,
"Nice job."
So yeah, there was this guy in America, right? And he was hiking somewhere in the wilderness, and he got lost. And he went out there by himself, but he told people what he was doing, where he's going. So I'm going hiking round at this point. I'll be back at this time. And when he wasn't back at said time, then they sent out rescuers to try and find him. Yeah. Okay. And the rescuers were trying to call him, and because it was a number he didn't recognize, he just would not answer the phone. They phoned him 3-4 times as there's an actual search party out for him. And he's looking at this unknown number and he's like, fucking weirdos. I'm lost. Why am I going to pick up the phone to these fuckers? He would not pick up the phone to them. And then eventually got himself back to the car, in which case the rescuers were like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Why did you do that? So, America!
Nice job.
So
also, why America specifically?
Because he was an American person in America doing American things, such as being lost and not answering your phone. And I also assumed that he had signal and didn't do anything about it. What a freaking top American fella. America! Fuck yeah!
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
Drop it down low with 3-word story.
So, speaking of the Americas, we're going to South America.
The South.
All right. So you came up with an interesting location setting to find our 3 words. So again, for anyone chiming in on episode 24 for the first time, essentially the premise, how we work, is we use the map app, what 3 words, and we locate a place which gives you 3 random unique words, and we use those words to tell a story. Now, Dylan, you came up with what? What we were going to do to find our location for our 3 words?
I wanted to keep it kind of location centric, obviously, and then I was like, no. And then I was like, okay, let's stick to a certain continent, and I figured, why not South America? And then I was like, South America, and then some illegal activities entered my mind in terms of business strategy, and then I was like, well, fine, places to start a business or business ideas within. Okay,
it's fair enough because Central and South America usually linked to narcos, some drug-related instances.
I'm not wrong in saying
nefarious.
that. So,
I mean, look, it's for right or for wrong, they're usually linked with drug kingpings and stuff like that. So I've gone a slightly different way.
All right.
Okay. So I think it's the first time we've gone to South America to try and find ourselves 3 words. So it was interesting. I don't know that much about South America, and this is what kind of interests me. So I went on a journey across South America, Dylan, as I'm sure you would have loved to hear.
Dora the Explorer.
No, I stayed away from Dora Explorer. And I went to, now I haven't actually clarified the pronunciation of this place.
Okay.
But to me, it reads as
Del Fuego.
Suriname. It's Suriname. Okay. Suriname. Suriname.
Okay, so then
So it's on the top of the South Americas. Okay, so I have read it as Suriname. It could be Suriname. It could be Suriname.
So you just say it in an accent and then you sort it out.
Suriname. Well, actually, that would actually be the wrong accent, Dylan. It would actually be a Dutch accent because the language spoken in Suriname is Dutch. That is the official language of Suriname, which is on the very northern peak of the South American continent. So South Suriname is a small country on the northeastern coast of South America. It's defined by vast swathes of tropical rainforest, Dutch colonial architecture, which I know you'd fucking love being South African and all your zany language you speak, and a melting pot of culture, just like South Africa. On its Atlantic coast is the capital, Paramaribo, where palm gardens grow near Fort Zeelandia, a 17th century trading post. And as I said, their language is Dutch. So there we go. Did you know that your language, obviously, for those who don't know, is a lot related to Dutch and English and...
Yeah, French and German.
And okay, so it's just a clusterfuck. But you can understand a lot of Dutch, right? Like you can hear people speaking Dutch, and you can
I can
words.
form. Yeah.
So you could go to Suriname, and you could sit with these people and maybe be like, I kind of know what's going on, which is a beautiful thing, right? Like you can be in South Africa and you could meet someone from Central Europe, and you could also meet someone from Suriname in South America, and you maybe all have a broken conversation with each other. Yeah, that was pretty nice, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. And the fact that this is in the Caribbean, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. It's kind of like setting-wise, it's like the ideal holiday destination, and then you kind of have some sprinkles of some other... like the Dutch past as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's you know, it's mainly rainforest. Like it's an extremely dense rainforest place. And I'm going to take none of that into account with my business idea. So instead of looking into the rich history of the place, the luscious forest, what I am going to do is basically take the piss out of their name slightly. Well, not take the piss out, but I'm going to be inspired by their name. So as I said, I read this as Suriname, as in surname. Okay.
That's.
Now, there is a town to the northwestern side of Suriname called Nickerie. Okay. Now, in Nickerie...
Just be careful. I'm just...
in Nickerie... Okay, one more time. In Nickerie...
Yeah. Nice job.
Thank you. Thanks, man. I love this guy, by the way. He really makes me feel good about myself. Look, I didn't grow up with a father, so having a guy telling me that I'm doing a...
Nice job.
is really good, and maybe that's why I'm overemphasizing the button. But Nickerie.
Nice job.
Is where we are. So, what am I doing here, Dylan? You may think, you may ask. Well, with...
Sorry, let me ask. What are we doing there, Chad?
Thanks for asking, Dylan.
Fucking prompting me. You think you might ask?
It's like you might want to fucking say a question or two, Dylan. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for asking that question unprompted. I appreciate that. In a world that we live in now, Dylan, where people are clambering for individualism, and often that leads to people choosing unique names, or names that don't necessarily fit into their region, their culture, or maybe they name their children after characters out of a show, which is basically along the lines of child abuse. So people shouldn't do that. So what I want is Suriname, and in particular Nickerie, to be the capital of the world of where you go to choose a new family name or a new nickname for yourself. So there is pomp, there is ceremony, and you go there and you are christened whatever this new name will be, or you are christened whatever this new nickname will be, okay? And because I want Suriname, or surname, to be the kind of evolution of this, it's going to be AI powered, okay? So, Nickerie. Nickerie.
Nice job.
Is along a river, okay? So we can submerge ourselves some supercomputers so they can be cooled, and we can use AI to power the generation of surnames and nicknames. Does that make sense? So this is my business idea: surname and Nickerie. People come there, and it's like they go for 2 weeks. They stay in the rainforest. They meditate. They hum. They become at peace, and they tear away their name and everything that's connected with it. Okay, so I go in as James Royal. Okay, and I release my name. You know, I'm not my name anymore. I'm not bound by that. I'm a spirit. I'm an eagle flowing through the rainforest for some reason, and I approach the elders, who will then assign me a new name, and I can be whatever that wants to be.
And the elders are the elders or the supercomputer?
They are the elders, but there's a super cute computer behind them, right? This is new age, right? So we've got to, you know, I want to use some pomp and ceremony, but I also want to use some cheeky AI. So what I've done is through the development of this AI, because I'm going through this. I've already spoken to some connections in Suriname and in Nickerie, and we're going to go ahead with it. So I've already been developing the AI software. So I've already gone ahead and got a new surname and a new nickname. Okay, so I've asked this surname and nickname supercomputer in Suriname. I said, give me a surname and a nickname idea for a South African national called Dylan. He is 5'8.5", enjoys mid-2000s comedy films, and works in real estate in Dubai. He loves to play golf and wink at people. Okay, so the surname...
Love is a strong word for winking at people. But okay, sure, let's go.
I thought I wanted to be honest and say how much you love to wink at people. Now, the surname that is generated, so again, this is through pomp and mystique. So
Italianos los cuentos.
No. You are Dylan Marlowe. Marlowe. And it explains, it has a cool, smooth, easygoing ring to it. Fits someone who winks and works in real estate.
And just get me a new set of chompers as well. Let me go for veneers.
So Dylan Marlowe. So look, when you winked at that woman, she seemed a bit disturbed. If she heard that you were Dylan Marlowe, everything would have changed. She'd be like, that would have made sense. So, what did I call you at the beginning of the episode?
Dill pickle?
Dill pickle. So the nickname is either. So it gives us two choices.
Oh, wonderful.
It gives us two choices.
Thought I was off the hook with Marlowe. Okay, now we're leaning towards pickle, phallic shaped. Great. Happy you're enjoying this. What's the fucking name?
So it's indeed a dill pickle. The explanation is playful and memorable. Plus, it feels very mid-2000s comedy energy. Which it does. Dill pickle. Oh, yeah, dill pickle.
Yeah.
It's
fucking frat boy vibes. It's fun. Yeah.
So you have and the elders have given you a choice. You can either have dill pickle, or you can,
Marlowe.
or you could quite simply have winks. Super simple, and if he's always winking at people, it could catch on easily. That's what it said. So, are you a dill pickle or a winks?
I'm leaning towards obviously the more normal sounding one, but I feel it's a trap, right? Things are never straightforward with you, James. So fine, slap me on the arse and call me dill pickle. That's
Nice
fine.
job.
Okay, nice. Well, I didn't want to just single you out, Dylan. So very quickly, I did do one for myself as well. So I'd now do one for James. He's 30 years old and works as a sales manager in real estate. He has ear stretchers and likes reading the news and generally is irritatingly comedic. He's 5'11.5" with blue eyes and blonde hair. Would you say that's about right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it said, and this is the Suriname sacred AI powered generation that I've been working on. It said, James sounds like a character. Here's what I suggest. So I've released the name Royal, and I am now James Huxley. A bit sharp and clean, but still has personality. Fits a sales manager who's sharp-witted and a bit cheeky. James Huxley. Huxley. Now I have two options for a nickname, and I'll let you decide which one to go for. I can either have Stretch, because of the ear stretchers, and also plays on him being tall-ish. I like how it says tall-ish. That's bang on. Or Newsflash, since he loves reading the news and is probably always dropping random facts in a comedic way. So I can either be Stretch or Newsflash. What do you reckon, Dylan?
No, I think I'd call you Newsflash. Yeah.
Nice job.
Newsflash it is then.
Yeah,
so we
Newsflash.
we have Dill Pickle and Newsflash coming to you 3-word story.
Newsflash.
Right, Dylan,
What's up?
what was your business? And where? And why?
Right. So, obviously, the nefariousness of what South America has cooked up historically with their trade. A lot of that is linked to the coca leaves.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
it makes sense.
And obviously it's been used in various forms, and it's yes, the obvious one might be it's used to make cocaine. What?
What you're telling me? You are telling me
That was no surprise that you were going to be surprised because you were sitting with your fingers on the button.
Look, at any one point, I could be ready for a celebration. I could be ready for a shock. I could be ready for a very, very funny time. Or I could be ready for, as we know...
Nice job.
Okay, so look, I was prepared for whatever was coming out your mouth. And it just turned out to be shocking that, what, they grow cocaine in South America?
Yeah, what? And then I figured, okay. Coca-Cola, right, is... also, I don't want to say famous for, but that taste is derived from the coca leaves. True. Which eventually then got removed, not because people were getting high, but it was always a risk of. So I wanted to move away from the cocaine part of things because traditionally some of the tribes over there basically just made tea from the coca leaves. And this particular tea is a stimulant. So natural energy boost, increased levels of focus.
And is this actually available, and is it actually legal?
It's not legal anywhere else besides Peru, Colombia, or then Bolivia.
Okay, well, three-word story tour going is to any one of those places. Okay.
Yeah, so apparently, if you want to grow it legally, you need to get it from either one of those three countries. And apparently the export of that is quite difficult. In the legalities of.
Okay, so not the tariffs then.
Yeah, not the tariffs, then, but the legality. But then I also thought of like, okay, but it really does seem to have quite a few benefits, and it seems like a business that actually could be a business. Okay, right.
So does it? I don't know how much you know about this. You've been very chatty so far today, so I don't know if you've been doing samples already. Is it basically tea cocaine, or is it just
no?
Tea
apparently,
with energy?
Yeah. It takes the cocaine high part out of it because again, it's that is where the human touch kind of comes in. That's where they mix it with whatever fucking bath salt or whatever. Okay. That's man-made. But the natural coca leaf as is it's actually pretty good for you. It's just people don't trust it, but people in those areas have been using that for thousands of years. Then. So yeah.
I really feel like this has now turned into a Joe Rogan podcast. I feel like
actually. But what I wanted to say is we just export that. We started off in Africa because, or at least where I'm from, it's pretty lawless anyway. So we just start selling it there.
Okay, so we're going to get some there, and I guess like then that moves it, a bit eastern. You could. And we can be having some tea around there. Nice. And then they drink the tea, and they become a little bit more fluid. They become a little bit more. Spiritual, they're feeling like, look, pre-TU, you need to release that name. You need to release that, and you need to reborn yourself for post-TU. Then, bam, we get them into one of our tourism shops. We get that one-way ticket to Suriname and take them to Nickerie. We get them a new name, and they spend on treatments of like yoga and tea shit. And there we go. And then we can just, have an Amazonian cult surname thing going.
Yeah, sounds wonderful.
Yeah,
sounds
I
like
think
a
we're glad
bang
that
of
we
a
can.
business
Yeah,
plan.
we might as well. Like, okay, so we're going to have like this 3-word story enterprises, and then I will branch off into the surname and nickname stuff. You'll branch off into the not cocaine stuff,
not
but the coca leaf.
Yeah, coca leaves.
Coca
Yeah,
leaves.
yeah.
And I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah,
I don't know. Then we can do our touring show. We can have the Krampus musicals. We can have all of that good
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
What's our theme park? Jonah?
No, we can go. We
Wally's
can
or-
buy out Black Gang Chine, and we can have
There
Jonah
we
Hill
go.
there. Yeah,
Sorry,
man,
Black Gang
we have an
Chine.
absolute killer enterprise on the go.
Yeah.
So, Dylan,
Yes.
I'm thinking of a number. I need you to guess if it's even or odd.
Yeah, it's definitely even.
It was odd. So
It was definitely odd.
you will go first for today's 3-word story.
Drop it down low with 3-word story.
Lovely note. All right. So, Hualaga River
Bless you.
in the...
Oh yeah, that's a point. Oh fuck! Do you know what we didn't do?
that's fine.
We didn't
Yeah,
say
we
what
didn't
our
know
3
what our
words
words
were. It's only the 24th episode, right? So your 3 words are, and they've taken you where?
They've taken me to... Let me just pronounce it again. Hualaga River
Okay.
in Peru.
Ooh, okay,
Right?
nice,
Stuck to my three block radius.
nice.
Ended up with note cards, vegans, and worms.
So say again. Note
from
cards?
the top.
Yeah. Take it from the top.
Take it back.
So the 3 words. So you
3
selected
words.
a square.
Yeah. Selected a square. Note cards
Is one word.
Vegans,
Okay.
worms.
Note the fact that note cards is one word is
Yes,
just
note cards.
It's just
It's not note cards. It's note cards.
note cards. Note card.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
note cards, vegans, and
Worms.
worms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
How the fuck you're going to weave this into a story? I am excited, and I really hope that you do a
Nice job.
Grazie.
take it away.
Thanks, Greg.
From the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
That's how I'm falling into the story now.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. Well, all right. So let me give a bit of background.
Yes, please,
You
Soldier Boy.
are going to be you'll be going on a date, James. However, you won't be going on a date as yourself. You will be going on a date as a character in my story.
Okay, my wife will be pleased. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I have secured. I have kind of bitched out from participating in this story because
I've never done that before. So
so I will just be handing you some prompts and some backgrounds, and you just naturally give me your response. Obviously, I cannot respond then yet again because my name is not actually Barbara, and we are not.
It isn't?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
However, so bit of background to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your name's Kevin.
okay.
Hi, Kevin. You recently got divorced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
quite sad. However, you are now back on the dating scene, but since it's been a pretty rough terrain out there for most people, and you gotta be aware
Okay.
of what you
Okay.
say and people's feelings and right. So I will be going on this date.
Mhm. And how old is Kevin, by the way? And where is Kevin from?
Mid-40s.
Okay, mid-40s. Okay, I'm mid-40s. Where am I from?
Yeah, you can be from the UK. I think that's
Thank
okay.
fuck for that, yeah, because
Yeah,
I've not
yeah.
prepared an accent at all. Okay, right, so Kevin for mid-40s. Do I wear a hat?
Ooh, that's very important. No, you don't.
Okay. Oh,
No.
just
Did you
when
want
I
to
have to take it off
But
when
you
I
do
can.
have a pipe if you
Huh.
like one. Yeah.
That's
I
fantastic.
always know you like
okay.
a pipe.
And is this a proper smoking pipe, or is it a Bart Simpson bubble-esque pipe? You know,
Yeah, because that's what people naturally fucking take
that's
on
what I
dates.
do. That's what I need to clear this up for Kevin. I really need to embrace Kevin's character and physically. If I'm Kevin right now and I had to escape from a fire in a 3-story burning building, how likely am I to get out? So
I think you are fairly movable.
Okay,
So
okay.
also, occupation wise, you are a comedian. I made this a bit easier for you.
Okay.
Like I gave you room to run.
Okay, well, the bubble pipe would make sense for a comedian then. That checks out. And I'm wily enough to get out of a fire, and that checks out why I wouldn't wear a hat. Because if I'm going to go get my hat, then I could perish in the fire because I'm going to get my very, very, very valuable hat. And obviously my bubble pipe is in my pocket, right? Does that all check out?
That all checks out.
Okay, brilliant.
Right. Now, the person you are going on the date with, right, it's Barbara. We met online.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. Now, her bio, she, all that you kind of need to know is she is very opinionated. She's vegan. And you could stick to that. Like, you can run wherever.
Okay.
Now, within this, I do provide some note cards for you because you, as Kevin, slightly nervous getting back onto the dating scene.
Okay. Get back on the horse with no hat.
So I'll maybe just read you the note card before. You can then choose to use it or
So you're like
not.
a dating coach in this thing.
I guess so.
Okay.
I guess so.
Okay.
But as depending on how this date progresses, I mean, I might just fucking chuck the note cards out the window. Who knows?
Okay, all right. Okay.
Fine. So anyway,
And
you show up.
sorry, who's playing Barbara?
I will be speaking as Barbara.
Okay, so Gary won't be. Okay. No,
Fuck, who
because
the
he's
fuck's
just
Gary?
Nice job.
that's all he says. So otherwise it'd be a very good date. So no Gary, no?
No, Gary.
Okay.
All right.
What do you think about that, Gary?
Nice job.
He agrees. He agrees.
agrees.
That was good. That was a good production.
You know
director's
what's
decision.
amazing to me is I keep on looking as if Gary's in the room with us.
Weirdly, we both do. I think it's getting a bit hot and delirious, and we've had too many cocoa leaves this morning.
That's
so
fair. That's fair.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just put us in the scene. Right. We're at the restaurant, and Barbara's vegan. Right. You've greeted each other, and having a sit down. Now, as you are receiving your meals,
Oh, nice.
Barbara, considering she is vegan and apparently also a nutter because she's based off of Dylan's imagination.
Oh my goodness.
Barbara thanks each piece of lettuce individually before eating it. So, Kevin, she looks at you expectantly. What do you do?
Okay. Well, Barbara, that's a lovely thing you do there. It's interesting that you do that, Barbara. Now, are you personalizing your food, as in giving them a soul every time you thank the lettuce?
Yes.
You are. Okay, so let me get this straight. So when you look at an iceberg of lettuce, right, which I believe is what they're called in the vegan society, do you see one being, or do you see a collection of many souls, as in each leaf is its own soul?
No, I see each iceberg, as they call it.
Iceberg. It is an iceberg. It's an iceberg. Okay, yeah.
That is one berg. It's a collective as one. This is what I wanted to avoid, being Barbara in the story. Now I'm just Barbara in me. I just wanted you to make a fucking wisecrack at her thanking her lettuce, and now all of a sudden I'm thinking out a story.
So sorry about Barbara. You know that is a lovely thing. Now, do you not see when you're thanking it? Are you seeing a soul within the lettuce?
Knowing where it came from, yes.
Okay, so you would say that you are a bit of a soul crusher then, because you put them in your mouth and you crush them, I would assume. Now, if that's okay, Barbara, because I have I'm actually part of this corporation that specializes in rename surnames, okay? And we can also redo a nickname for you. So we can ask the elders and we may be able to get you a Barbara Iceberg Crusher. Maybe it'll be a nice treat for us, if it all goes well. You know what I mean, Barbara?
If it allows me to go on to my next question, yes, that's fine.
Very formal, Barbara.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you very much. So, Barbara proudly shows her vegan tattoo.
Okay.
And then she asks, do you have any tattoos, James?
funny enough, Barbara, I do. And instead of the casual black ink, I decided to take the ink from a squid and inject it inside myself. Now, I bet you're thinking, as a vegan, it's probably a little bit too far. Well, Barbara, as I thought, I was just about to bash this squid's brains in before I eat it, which is the Japanese way of eating, the Suriname way of smashing a squid skull in with a rock, a jaggedy rock. I thought, hey, as a ceremonial event, just before I get my new surname, why do I not take its ink whilst it looks at me deep in the eyes and inject it into my skin as drawing its young? So it looks at and it's seeing me drawing its young, which I've already kidnapped, by the way. I already have it in a cage to myself. And I'm going to inject its ink inside me to draw out their young before I eat it. So, yeah, funny enough, Barbara, I do. I guess you wouldn't call it necessarily vegan, maybe a bit psychotic. But hey, I'm Kevin. I don't wear hats and I love bubble pipes.
Lovely to know. Good on you, Kevin. Yeah.
Thanks, Barbara. I love your voice, by the way.
Very nice. Right. So, Kevin, the restaurant's loud. You raise your voice slightly just to be heard. And Barbara accuses you of masculine verbal dominance.
Okay. Interesting. Yes. I actually work out my throat on a regular basis. I have.
They call me the throat goat.
The elders gave me the new name, so I do a lot of throat reps. I do a lot of throat squats, and I have a localized steroid injection into my throat. So yes, it's very strong, you know. And look, it's not about necessarily being overly masculine or dominating you, Barbara. I just want a 6-pack on my Adam's apple because everyone has just a standard curved Adam's apple. I want mine to look like Cristiano Ronaldo's torso. And I just want it to be like there. So I've even actually, you can see with the remaining squid ink that I had, I just
Why am I looking?
I put 2 little nipples, so that's what like his chest would look like, and then here's the 6-pack. So sometimes, every now and then, I do speak a bit loudly, but that's just because I have a rippling throat.
All right. Okay. That's wonderful. That's really nice. No, just joking. I'm not going to open that door. So worms.
I'm sorry, Barbara.
You've got it. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I wonder why you were shuffling around in your seat.
No, so I brought. Barbara brought.
Yeah.
Barbara brought a Tupperware of worms.
Okay. Very
Why,
cool.
you ask?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because now thinking that she's vegan. How would that work?
How would that work? Barbara,
Actually, let's go down that.
Barbara, why do you have a box full of worms as a vegan? They seem like they're in distress. Barbara, please tell me, why do you have some worms?
So, what it boils down to is the menus aren't always vegan friendly.
Okay.
So I bring out my own protein of worms, and worms good for protein, but they are all dead.
And who killed them?
Probably the fact that they don't have oxygen in the.
Barbara, I'm going to say that's not very vegan. You've said that you've claimed you're a vegan. I saw you go to the bathroom and cry about my squid story. But now you have suffocated a cluster of worms inside a box. That seems pretty evil, Barbara, and also not very well thought out at all. As if you were gonna introduce the word worms into the story as a vegan, it just doesn't sound very thought through. I could almost say that it wasn't a
Nice job.
Thank you, Gary.
Sorry, I bring him everywhere on dates.
Yeah,
we're not together. We're not together. But he looks after me after the whole squid incident. Legally, he has to be here. The court ordered.
Understood. Well, to get back to Barbara, no, it wasn't well thought out. No, not at all. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I thought of making the worms come back to life because I now possess those powers.
Of course. Why do?
And then also, I was like, why bring them back to life? Then why the fuck would she have worms with her? And even if she eats the live worms, now I'm like, that's not vegan either, just because it's basically hunting insects. So, you know what, James? Next one. Barbara tells a vegan joke.
Oh, I can't wait for this one. Everything's been so well thought out already. I'm sure this is going to be sensational.
Yeah. Fine. Why did the tomato turn red?
Why did the tomato turn red?
Because it saw the salad dressing. Now, thanks for the applause.
Sorry, it was just the restaurant is going crazy. Gary thinks it's a
Nice job.
and everyone else is still laughing because that was an absolute blinder. Well done, Barbara.
But she demands you tell one of your best jokes.
Motherfucker! I don't know any.
Any jokes?
I don't know any jokes, Barbara. I'm more of a
very much on the fly kind of guy.
Yeah. Speaking of on the fly kind of guy, why did the duck blush? because it saw duck quacks.
Butt quacks.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh, that's funny. That jumped to mind.
See,
We will not say from where.
Yeah. It was from a valuable, very hilarious source. Any more, Barbara? This date is going very, very well. Any more from you, Barb?
Right. So, actually,
Yes.
considering the worms are now back alive.
Oh yeah, because of the magical power that Barbara
also,
had.
And also, she will not be eating them because that would not make sense. But she recently got in a new shipment of worms, and she needs help naming them.
Why a shipment of worms?
I
Right?
do not-
Why is she shipping in worms as a vegan? Who's shipping in worms?
Yeah, I thought when I said that, I was like,
Shipment
you know
of
what?
worms.
Why would I ship worms? That's like the most, yeah. All right, so
Right, okay, so
she dug out some worms.
Okay, right. She's
this
saving
morning.
some worms.
She's saving some worms.
She went to a fishing shop and she bought some worms to save them from being fed to fish. How about that?
All right, but she needs help naming 6 of them.
Well, thankfully, you've come to the right place.
yeah.
Because
comedic 6 names.
I'm actually, I don't know if I've told you this, Barbara, but I've actually launched this new enterprise in Suriname, which is renaming not only humans but worms. Right. And as a great fan of the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and probably PlayStation 4, and maybe PlayStation 5 game, Worms, I'm sure that in my cranium somewhere would be some names for some worms, you would think. But through a large amount of alcohol and or drug abuse in my life, cannot think of a single worm. So name. So we're going to go with Squirmy.
Okay. That's okay.
Wormy.
Original.
Yeah. Learning. We go with Fermi. He's a bit the grumpy one. Okay, he's like so we've got Lerny. He's like the learned guy. You could say he's a bookworm.
Okay.
And we have Fermi. He's a bit. Hang on. Then we have Fermi. He's like he's the bit of a tough guy. You know, he's the tough one. Okay.
Then you have Susan.
And then I'm guessing you're thinking, how many worms were there? Sorry?
6. Only 6.
There was only six worms. So you would think I'd be able to, by now, come up with along
Something,
the lines of what these may be called. We have a Lumi. He's a glowworm, so he lights up at night. Thank you very much.
Funny.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Thank you. And then I will name one after you. Dill pickle. This is the last one that I'm going to name it after. So that was easy.
All right. Well, the date went terribly. I won't keep us here much longer. You have offended her way too many times.
Fair enough.
We haven't used any of the note cards. And on to the next story, James.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Drop it down low with 3-word story.
No.
So, Dylan,
Yes.
my area in Nickname, it took me, and I was only 1 square away from actual Nickname, and it gave me the 3 unique words of prototype,
Okay.
ingenious, and fear. And I thought, that's a... Do you need a definition of any of those?
No,
You're happy
no,
with
no,
them?
no.
Yeah,
No, I'm
you
happy.
Sure? You're
I'm
happy
just,
with them?
I'm just trying to think which way you would be like leaning with those.
Well, Dylan,
That's why I'm here.
That's what I'm going to explain to you. So, naturally, when I had these 3 words, I thought, what else? What else will I possibly do than make a game show? Ha! Is it prototype or not? Is it prototype or not? Is it prototype or not? Oh, there's a fear that you've got, whether it's a prototype or not. Is it prototype or not? Oh, there's fear that you've got. Is it a prototype or not? Is it prototype or not? That's the fear that you've got, whether it's prototype or not. So welcome to Prototype or Not. So the fear that you have is whether you are going to get these questions right on the game show, Prototype or Not. So Dylan, I'm going to go through a list of prototypes. So these are inventions, ideas, formulations that have been made in real life or not. Yeah, nice.
I like it.
Nice job.
So thank you, Gary. And basically, we're going to go down and I'm going to list you out some prototypes and you need to use your cranium to decide whether or not it is a prototype or not.
There we
Right,
go.
so does that make sense, Dylan? Are you with me?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, fucking obviously.
Where does the fear jump in?
The fear is whether you get it wrong. or not.
Oh, okay,
If you
understood.
in this game show,
If you get it wrong, you die.
we bring up the tiger in the escalator, as you could see with all the scratches. We bring the tiger up, and the tiger mauls you. Now you're thinking, well, if that is the price you pay for losing, what is the price of winning? Well, your life,
Not-
Dylan. So
yeah,
who
yeah.
else would not want that, right? So again, it is prototype or not. Yeah. Right.
There we go.
Dylan, so to begin with, we have. So this is like this is
goodness.
quiz background music,
Yeah.
right? So Dylan,
Feeling the tension.
we have the prototype. Nekonmimi.
No prototype, or whatever it is. No, just joking.
Back in 2011, inventors came up with a new device that combined Japan's technology expertise with its fascination with dressing up like animals. The result was called the Nekomini, which are cat ears controlled by the user's brainwaves. When the user concentrates, the ears of the device perk up. When the ears drop, the user is in a state of relaxation. Now, Dylan, I'm asking you, prototype or not? And now please make it a little bit entertaining and think it out a little bit first.
And think about it a little bit first.
Don't just go, no.
Damn it.
Right,
Yeah,
so
that's what I normally
the
do.
Nekomini, right.
Let's think about this out loud. Yes, I have heard that they do like this is kind of one of their customs, dressing up like animals, and I have seen kind of the Hello Kitty thing, and then they've kind of got the I don't know, is it called an Alice band? I don't know. I have seen the ears, but then going so far as to having something connected to
Your brain is what it
brainwave was-
says. Yeah. So it says, fascination dressing result. It's a device uses brainwaves. So did they go all the way to the brainwaves to get.
I think they would do something like that. I do think the tech is out there, but just to make ears pop up, that seems pretty bizarre. But then yet again, it is Japanese. So yeah, I'm going to say yeah.
So you're saying prototype is not. Dylan? Gary,
Well,
what'd you
it is
say?
Nice job.
That's correct. It
correct.
was indeed not. No, it was. No,
Was-
wait. Fuck, what did you say? It was a prototype. Or, fuck, I
Yeah,
completely
like it
fucked
is
up.
out there. It is a
sorry.
thing. Yeah.
It is a prototype.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, Gary. You could have been a bit
Fuck
clearer.
you, Gary.
Say something else,
Yeah.
Gary. Fuck you, Gary. Right, next one.
Right.
The bowler hat. Back in 1849, the original bowler hat was designed to accommodate King Edward VII's servants in handling marble bowls. When playing bowls with aristocratic revelers, the servants were expected to hand the bowl over within the hat as to not sully the bowl before play. The hat would then be returned to the head to maintain an immaculate presentation, prototype or not.
Well, there is obviously something like a bowler hat.
It is a bowler hat.
So, but it's basically just stating that's the reason for that hat. But no, the bowler hat would then, by definition, not be it would be a prototype because it's already in existence, right?
But was
Like,
it a prototype for this reason, right? So
okay.
Okay, so a prototype has a specific reason.
For
Sometimes
that.
things are made and then they're made into something else, but there was an original prototype. So is this prototype or not? So you think the servants are there with
Yeah,
the bowler hat, and
bowler hat.
then they
The kind of
the ball's in there, and they
bowler
hand it
hat.
over to the king and his
What was the sport?
playing bowls.
Oh, bowls.
So you know, like
Listen. It seems like a sticky enough idea, and you said King who?
King Edward VII.
Oh, then I definitely know.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay, that's
There-
proven it.
there we
Okay,
go.
so Dylan, you are saying prototype.
Prototype. Yeah,
Gary,
sure, let's go.
what are we saying? That is no prototype, Dylan. There is indeed such thing as a bowler hat, but the bowler hat was originally invented to place on a gentleman's head whilst he was on a horse to protect his head from branches and or foliage. It was not created to have bowls to hand over to King Edward VII. I made that one up.
Good one, James.
You're welcome. I was quite happy with that one. I had a little chuckle to myself thinking about it. So, Dylan, you are.
And you fell for it. Yeah.
So that 1-0. Dylan, 1-0.
Shit.
What's that? I can hear the tiger amping up. So, the next one. Shaketani. We're back in Japan in 2008, Dylan. A sensory device was developed that would sense and alert public transport users as to if someone had passed gas. In early trials of the device, the alerts were so common, it became a hindrance to travelers and was discontinued. Prototype or
But why was it discontinued?
in early trials of the device, the alerts were so common, it became a hindrance
understood.
to travel. So it was going. Basically, people were farting, passing gas so much, it was just beep, 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 beep.
In Japan?
2008 in Japan.
No.
So it's.
So, I don't know. Maybe I'm. This is going to sound bizarre, but I'm going to go for it anyway. This is just based on the fact, not the fact, but I can't seem to even conjure up the idea of a Japanese person farting.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Right.
so
But do you not think that? So it's a lot about politeness,
Yes.
and that kind of
Yeah.
culture, right?
Yeah.
So one may slip out, but you would never know. Okay. So would you not think that to maximize politeness in society, they would want everyone to keep their anuses completely tight, so no one would smell, right?
Yeah, so nobody would get found out. But then yet again, it's very much, I guess, an honor system. Like, and if it does slip out, it slips out. But we aren't going to chastise you for it. Or
Do you think they wouldn't?
No, I don't think they would.
Okay.
I think the embarrassment from the individual itself would probably be enough. So no, I would say no, not in Japan.
So you are saying prototype is not. Gary, what we saying?
Yeah. I know what
Nice
that.
job.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know what that button is.
I love that you're looking at the buttons in anticipation.
Am I right? Yes.
Fuck, I really don't want that tiger to come in. I don't want a chance.
Really feeling the pressure.
So, Dylan, we are still in Japan. Those crazy motherfuckers are inventing everything.
Yeah.
This one is a choice. It's a 50-50 choice. Is it a tomato tan or a banana tron? In Japan, a prototype was developed to assist marathon runners in energizing on the go. The robot sat on the runner's back and fed them what? Tomatoes or bananas?
Runners.
Yes. So in Japan, a prototype was developed to assist marathon runners in energizing on the go. I've seen this. The robot sits on the back and shoulders and it reaches round into your mouth and feeds you either a tomato or a banana. So was it the tomatan or a banana tron?
I'll go with banana tron just because I reckon. I think, and again, I'm not a runner myself, but yeah, you need I think sugar is absorbed easier from a banana. They need sugar while running. There's a good source of potassium, irons in there. So yeah,
I didn't know you're a freaking banana salesman.
No, but I think that's what
Coming down to Dylan Banana Shop.
I just can't think that they would need a tomato whilst running a marathon, and that's solely what I'm basing this on.
So we are going for the banana tron.
Yeah.
Gary, what are we saying? Fuck. It was a tomato-tron. It was actually designed by a soup company as it was a bit of a publicity thing. And it was a full robot. It was ridiculous. Full robot on their shoulders would pick a tomato from their own robotic backpack and switch it round and put it into the runner's mouth.
Did they say why a tomato though?
It was a soup company, so I think it was just
a soup company.
It was just, I assume, selling tomato soup. I've never had banana soup. I'm not sure if that's a thing.
I don't think
maybe
it
you
is.
can sell that in your new banana shop. that you
I
have
think they
going.
just call it smoothies.
So, the next one, Dylan.
Yes.
So you're 2-2. You really are one or the other away from getting annihilated by a tiger. Goodyear tires. In the 1960s, tire company Goodyear had an interesting idea. Or did they? Why not produce tires that would light up? The tires were made from a single piece of synthetic rubber and were lit by bulbs mounted inside the wheel, making the whole tire glow brightly. The idea was to offer a whole range of colours, but while the tires looked amazing in the dark, they performed poorly in the wet. And the idea was scrapped. But was it prototype or not? Light up tires in the 1960s. I mean, how cool would that look, right? You are going around with light up tires.
Like I can imagine, because correct me if I'm wrong, but that's when the white wall tire was I think a bit more popular, right?
I would say so. Yeah.
So I can imagine kind of the ring around and the I can imagine it is pretty cool, but
Light up tires.
light up tires. Yeah, it seems the thought seems a bit alien.
Bulbs mounted inside the wheel, making the whole tire glow brightly.
No, like it just it doesn't seem too sticky to me. Don't
So,
like I mean fucking on bulbs on that. No, it was just yeah.
so we are saying prototype is not.
No.
Gary, what do you say? Oh no, it was indeed a prototype in the 1960s that they had light up tires. Oh my goodness, we are one step further from the tiger coming in. Dill pickle, you are in a pickle, is what I would say.
How many questions left?
We have 2 left.
Oh fuck!
So you really
need to do, yeah.
Otherwise, I've actually paged. I have a pager. I've actually paged for them to start bringing the tiger up one floor by one floor. So it's if this was a visual thing, you can imagine like the floor numbers going up and up, and you're thinking, how am I going to survive? The tiger's my friend, just so you know. So the next one, Dylan. Let me just let's get back our tense music. No googling.
No.
No Googling.
No, I just want to remove.
Pornhub, close that. Right. Next one, Dylan, is the Stanikin. In Poland, 1914, with most married men fighting in the war, Igor Schwitz developed a life-sized temporary husband. The 170 centimeter tall Hessian mannequin would be able to keep the housewife company and hear complaints without retort. The mannequin, dubbed by Igor as the Stanikin, courted controversy with its wood-turned male genitalia and creepy, gaunt, button-eyed face. No surprise that Stanikin did not make it into Polish households. What do you think about the Stanikin?
I would like to know where the word mannequin came from. And
We can't Google it.
It's not how it works. Yeah, because then I'd be like, well, what was first, the chicken or the egg? Or the, like,
The Stanikin
story?
or the mannequin.
The Stanikin or the mannequin.
I want this podcast to take off so badly because I want a t-shirt that says mannequin or Stanikin. What came first, the mannequin or the Stanikin? So with a lot of married men fighting off in the war, 1914, one of the biggest amount of deaths, human deaths within the space of 4 years ever, did Igor Schwitz develop...
In the year 1914.
World War One.
Yeah, it is. But
Thanks.
no. He would have planned better than that.
Did he know Franz Ferdinand was going to be shot?
No, probably not. But I don't know. Tensions were probably rising with Germany beforehand. No, I'm going to call it no. No, I can't see. I can't see the Polish society being like, listen. I think they probably reckoned, you know what, the woman will kind of hold up the fort whilst we are gone. They don't need.
It does say that it
Stanikins.
didn't take off. It said that no surprise that the Stanikin did not make it into Polish
Yeah,
households.
but that's also the thing, though. You need like one person to have a fucking bizarre idea.
Igor
and then-
Schwitz, of
Yeah,
course.
Igor Schwitz. to be like, hey guys, here's what I've got.
Yeah, his-
and just
his
imagine.
Stanikin.
Yeah. His
Now, what I would
Stanikin,
do
yeah.
if I was Igor Schwitz, right?
Yeah.
I would take the loveliest housewife that there was, right? And I'd go, hey, Helena, I have this new doll for you. It has a wood-turned male genitalia. It's just a Hessian mannequin. Okay, you do whatever you want with it. Okay, I'm gonna go out in another room, and this mannequin Stanikin will be in this room. I will be gone. You will never see me again. But just this Hessian mannequin will be there. You'll never see me again. Okay, and this is just a mannequin. Okay,
Is this where sex toys came from?
I mean, it's 1914. I could imagine. I went to the sex
A lot
museum.
of splinters.
I went to the sex museum in Amsterdam, and I don't remember seeing a Stanikin, to be fair. I bet it would be worth a lot of money if you could find a Stanikin, but maybe Igor Schwitz would put himself into the Stanikin, pretending that indeed...
Okay. Well, no. Either way, no. I have to. And again, obviously, I might be wrong. I might just be gobbled up by the tiger. But no, I don't see this.
So you are saying
Not.
not. Dylan.
Fuck. Oh, you have two now. Damn
Dylan.
it. Yeah.
2-2 at the moment.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Nice job, Dylan. You are 3-2, and you have one more. So,
All right.
if you draw, we still release the tiger, but we get it off you before it kills you. So you're going to be mauled, but
Well, I
not
got-
to death.
Yeah, that was 2-2, so I'm one ahead.
Yes,
right
you're
now.
3-2.
Yeah, okay,
so if
sure.
you don't get this one right,
Yeah.
you will still be mauled, but not to death. Just some life-changing injuries.
Ah,
You
okay,
know, that's
understood.
what we like to do here at Proto-type or not. Right. So Dylan,
That was such a game show host laugh.
so
Right.
for the final one, Dylan,
Yes, sir.
the mustache shield. The mustache has been a popular form of facial hair for hundreds of years, and during the latter part of the 19th century, the handlebar mustache became a common sight around the world. So, in 1876, American Virgil Gates took out a patent for a mustache guard to keep it clean and dry whilst eating and drinking. Prototype or not?
Can I ask what it was made of? How much info do you have?
That
on
is all
this,
I
sir?
have.
That is all I have.
That's all the producers have given me. That is all I have.
Right. Gates.
Virgil Gates.
Virgil
Could have been in
Gates.
the long lineage of Bill Gates, maybe. Maybe it's a long line of inventors. It went mustache guards. That's where they got the original amount of money, and then Bill Gates took that money and did computers,
with it.
You know?
Yeah. Practical. But yeah, again, it stumps me every time thinking that, hey, listen, and fair enough, that's how people, this is how technology evolves, right? Is somebody willing to put something stupid out there. However, this, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I really don't. Having something for what? Not wet, like
So it doesn't get
wet.
So it
while
keeps it
eating.
clean and dry.
Clean
The
and dry.
handlebar clean and dry.
Clean and dry. Yeah. What
So
do you-
Dylan,
No.
the tiger is nearly at the lift. The final answer is prototype is not.
No.
Gary, for the final time this evening, do we have a good job or do we have anime style shock noise? Dylan, that is a draw. So,
Oh, shit.
whilst you are being mauled and mangled by the tiger, we are going to play out with a little bit of. It is prototype or not? It was prototype or not? He didn't
Would have
get
liked
it.
to-
Was
yeah,
a
like this music.
prototype. And Dylan's getting mangled and chewed up by a tiger because he didn't know it was a prototype. It was a prototype or not? Was it prototype or not? The fear that he got, oh yeah. Was it prototype or not? Yep, the fear that he got. Well, it was a prototype or not. Yeah. So, Dylan, well, half of you now, because obviously the lower half has been mangled by the tiger. I don't know why I've been calling you Dylan, because obviously your name is Dill Pickle, as we know, or Winks.
I couldn't hold eye contact while you called me Dill Pickle.
So, Dill Pickle.
Dill Pickle.
For next week,
Yeah.
where are we going to look? I have literally given not a second of thought to where we may then put. So we had a business setup in South America. I liked that. I liked that a lot. So why do we not have a business that we set up in Asia?
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll stay on the business theme. Maybe we'll
Okay.
do this for another episode or two until we actually engage our imagination.
That's fair.
And we'll see where this will take us on next episode of 3-Word Story.
Nice job.
Nice job.
Drop it down low with 3-word story.
Thank you for listening to this week's 3-Word Story. If you would like to get in touch with James and Dylan, then please email us at the3wordstory@gmail.com. Send your reviews, negative or positive, or even your 3 words, and we'll read them out on air. See you next week.